Welcome to today's math video, and just to remind you guys, this series of videos is aimed at preparing you for the larger series of videos, which is the Art of Math series, which is the main playlist I have for math on my channel. But there'll be a handful, like 4 or 5 videos so far, and if you feel like there's something I haven't covered that you really want covered, let me know. And again, any questions or comments are most welcome. All right, so today's question is, why do you multiply by the reciprocal when dividing fractions? I'm sure a lot of you have either heard this, or this is sort of new to you, or you don't feel comfortable, you're just doing this automatically and you're wondering why. So I want to really clarify that so you feel more comfortable. So let's consider this example, which is 5 divided by 2/3. So what does this mean? We're going to think of it, I'm sure maybe you've seen this, just as like a pizza pie. So let's divide this 2/3 into 2 steps. 2/3 is 2 times 1/3. So let's tackle those separately. So let's just ignore that 3 and just say we had 5 divided by 2. Well, 5 divided by 2, as many of you know, would just be 5 over 2 or 2.5. So that's not a problem, right? Okay. Now let's tackle the 1/3. What if instead of doing the 2 first, we just ignore the 2 and treat this as just a 1/3? So what does it mean to divide 5 into 1 by 1/3? Let's think of a pizza pie that has 5 slices. And if we're dividing it by 1/3, let's assume that each person at the party does not have much of an appetite, or they're really little, like they're like first graders. And so each person can only eat or like they're toddlers, they can only eat 1/3 of a slice. So they're not eating one slice. So there's 5 slices and each person can only eat 1/3 of a slice. Well, we could chop each of the 5 slices into 1/3 pieces, and you can count up that there's 15 total mini pieces. So how do we get this 15 from the 5 and the 1/3? Oh, well, all we did is multiply 5 by 3. So this should convince you that when we're dividing by a fraction, we're basically increasing it. So whenever you see that 3 with the division, it's basically like you're multiplying by the 3. So that gives us the idea that if you had taken care of that 2 first, then you would have 2.5, and now if you split 2.5 into 1/3 pieces, you're multiplying by 3, so that's 7.5. But let's say you want to do this first. Let's say you want to split into 1/3 pieces first, so then you get 15. And then if you divide the 15 by the 2, 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So you get 7.5 no matter how you do it. Now, we don't have to break it up into 2 steps. So that's why you've been taught, or maybe you've just encountered this idea of flipping division into multiplying by the reciprocal. So you just turn the division into a times, and that's why, like we said, that divided by 1/3, that 3 is actually going to increase the number. So that's why it's the same as putting it up here where it's increasing that 5. And the divided by 2, that 2 is actually shrinking it, which is why it goes down. So everything's reversed. And that's why we multiply by the reciprocal, because when you're dividing, the numerator and denominator have opposite effects. So by putting into multiplication, it has its normal effects. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. I really encourage you guys, if you're still kind of not getting this, just run through this and make it simpler. You even change the numbers. Think why we multiplied by 3 to get this 15. So that will, again, show you why the 3 actually goes to the top over here, and why the 2, when you're multiplying, like over here, that 2's on the bottom, but this is 5 times a half. All right, so that hopefully takes care of that. So let me know if you guys have any questions related to this, anything at all. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.